Hello. Welcome to the Mother Days podcast. I'm Teresa Palmer.
And I'm Sarah Wright Olsen. And Teresa is coming to us live from the middle of a cyclone.
Woo. Crazy. Woo. I was actually worried about the mic picking up howling in the background. I was like, it'll make it atmospheric. Anyway, yes. Well, it hasn't quite hit. By the time this comes out, it would have already been and gone.
Yeah, we're going to know a lot of information by the time this comes out.
Oh no, right now we're in the wait and see.
We're in the pre-game.
I was meant to do this tomorrow with Sarah, but I was like, I'm pretty sure I won't have power for a few days. I think we need to get this in, which is just so wild. So yeah, where Cyclone Alfred is meant to hit. The time of recording right now, we're Wednesday today. Yep, Wednesday, 9 a.m. Byron Bay time. And they're predicting that it's going to hit in the middle of the night tonight or early morning. But guys, I am telling you, I have never seen wind like this. My trees in my front yard have already come down. Like about maybe 8 branches are already on the ground, really big ones.
Well, I was looking because I know you guys do kilometers, right? But we're miles per hour for us. I was looking online because once you told me this was happening, I was been deep diving because I was so worried about you.
Oh my God.
And the winds are 80 to 100 miles per hour, which is what we had in the fire. So imagine looking at that outside and imagine you have a storm with rain and everything, but imagine that is what it was for the fire, which is so crazy.
I can't even imagine fire bouncing around in this.
It's nuts. Taz sent me a video this morning and her trees are all just
I know, but it's
huge.
That's
trees.
not even the worst. It's going to get way worse. I said to Bodie, I was like, go stand outside now because we won't be able to stand outside tomorrow morning. And he was like, whoa, he felt like he was being blown away. But this is what is so weird. I was just posting some stuff in my Instagram about the evacuation centers in our area. And so it's basically hitting right on the border of Queensland and New South Wales. So the people affected sort of southeast Queensland and then also northern New South Wales. So we're northern New South Wales. And it's going to hit just south of Brisbane. And it's the first cyclone to hit land in this particular area of Australia in 50 years. So it's very unprecedented. But of course, I was posting this stuff and then my friend Brooke was like, hang on a second, weren't you just talking on the podcast about the 2022 Lismore floods? And I was like, yes. And now poor Lismore, I think it's so traumatic for everyone who lived through the floods. They're now prepping. And I was reading stories yesterday that people were in line for 8, 9, 10 hours just getting sandbags to try and protect their homes. And I was driving the kids to school. My kids go to school in Lismore. I was driving the kids to school yesterday for their last day. And I was driving along the flats and I just kept thinking this was all underwater in 2022. Yeah. Is this what is going to happen again? And I was seeing these little calves suckling from their mums in the field. And I was just I'm going to go into full animal rescue mode. Yeah. If this hits in the way that it could potentially hit and devastate places like Lismore and other low-lying areas, the good thing is the whole community are so amazing. Everyone is just going to come out and help. But I was just looking around thinking oh my God, everyone's just rebuilt. How traumatic that 3 years on they're facing this cyclone, which feels very scary. And I'm a part of a lot of these groups and the Bangalore community group and the Byron Bay community page and the Lismore community page, and just people's level of trauma because of what happened last time. It's just getting triggered. And there's other people who are being a bit more complacent than others who are really prepping. It's just a funny thing. Like our school got shut down today. They were meant to go to school today. But then I woke up and I looked outside and I was like, I don't think I can get in the car. Like I don't know it's safe to get in the car to drive the kids to school. And also I don't want my kids away from me right now. And I thought about how you guys kept Winter home that day because you're like, ugh, it just doesn't, something feels off.
You have to trust that instinct. You just have to.
And I was like, I just don't want them away. And then the idea of having to drive and go and get them and all the stories you told me in so many ways have like helped prepare me and inform my own decisions. Like you guys told the stories of all those people who were trying to get to their kids at school. Yeah. And so I said to Mark, he's flying into the heart, like literally the eye of the storm this morning. He's flying into the Gold Coast from Sydney. He's been working.
Lord.
I said to him this morning, I am just not going to take the kids. Like I'm just not going to take the kids to school. It just doesn't seem right. And then we got a message that the schools are all cancelled anyway. So there we go.
That's a lot. That's a lot of, I don't know, like 2025 is pretty, it's a lot going on.
And like from one extreme to the next, like fires and in a particular like weather time, I feel like in LA where you wouldn't think that fires would be raging at that point. Like it's not like, I mean, I guess in my head I always think like in Australia they say like a fire danger day when it's over 40 degrees, which would be like 100 degrees Fahrenheit.
No, it was definitely cold but it was the Santa Anas. I mean winds. But like there's a lot of stuff going on right now. Like there's, I think in South Carolina, there's like fires, or North Carolina, there's fires happening right now. There's like the stuff happening where you guys are. It's just crazy. There's like so much natural disaster, climate stuff happening, which is really bananas. So hopefully once this is out, everybody's good and hopefully that's enough time too, like to where they can get those animals, because I can't stop thinking about the animals that you're just talking about, but like the animals to like a safer place. Ground.
I know I've been reposting all, like there's so many people and it's so funny. I was just reposting all this stuff for the fires, like all the people coming out and saying, I've got spare horse floats. I can move 3 horses onto our land. I just jumped on this thread the other day or yesterday. And I was like, we have 5 acres of land here. Like if anyone has animals or anyone that needs shelter, like we could have horses on this land. We could have cows. We could have, maybe the owners of the house might be like, excuse me, no. But I was like,
you're like, I can have a horse in my bedroom. Hold on, let me ring the person I'm renting from.
I would take all the animals. We'll take them all. It's like suddenly it's like Noah's Ark, but inside the house. I'm like, come animals, come be inside.
By the way, our the people who used to wash our dogs, they wrote to be like, do you need any help with your dogs? And so we were trying to figure out where to place our dogs, and we had like sent a message to them being like, oh, that's amazing. And he was like, yeah, I have like, a house on this much land, and like, it's still just be in my house with me. And I was like, oh no, like my dog's aggressive with other dogs. Like I can't, I thought they
could be spooning in bed.
I'm like, you don't want this dog. It's like too crazy. Speaking of which, like we are living in a new area now. And
I know.
And Teresa came and saw me, which is so amazing. But I have to tell you this morning, so our dogs are here finally, 2 of them. And this morning we were like doing our normal routine. Kids are getting ready. They're going to a new school, and all this stuff. And Eric and I worked out. Esme took one of the dogs for a walk. We can't take the other dog because he's too crazy. He's too big. And so
is this Moose?
Moose is too big. He's too big to take on a walk. He's a nutball, and he barks at like little dogs, and it scares people. But anyway,
sure.
So he's the one who pulled me down in the street the other day.
She's like fully injured. She had like fully scratched
so injured, so pregnant, and so injured. Anyway. So I'm leaving because I'm going to go meet Eric at this coffee shop nearby after he bikes on an e-bike with the kids to school.
Yeah.
And
I love
so
that.
he's going to go drop them at school. It takes like 2 minutes. And so I leave right after him and I'm going to go meet him. I drive me down the road. I go around the corner. I go pull on the main road. And there's this guy and his daughter and they're walking this like big English Mastiff. And I was like, rolled my window down. I was like, oh my God, I have a dog that looks just like that dog. He's so cute. And he came into my living room this morning and I was like, what? Oh, is that my dog?
Oh my God.
I was like, no. I was like, what do you mean? He came into your living room. And he goes, yeah, he just like wandered into my living room this morning. And I was like, who are you? And so I've been walking. Yeah.
They were walking your dog.
Yes.
Oh
and
my God, Sarah.
I have no idea how long he was gone. He was gone. I was so embarrassed.
Oh my God.
So it always ends up happening where it's me. I'm so pregnant.
Oh my
I end up
God. You're like,
getting
we
out
just
of
moved. I'm sorry. Like,
no, he goes, are you the new neighbors? I was like, oh, I am the new neighbors. And he was like, are you from Idaho? Because we have like an Idaho license plate. And I was like, nope. And I was like,
God.
I was like, oh, I'm so sorry. And then I was like, let's get him into the car. And he wouldn't go in. I'm like, he's an old man. I'm sorry. So I'm trying. And he's like, oh, don't hurt yourself. And I was like, I'm so sorry. I feel so bad. And I like shoved him into the car and he was like, well, we have to get the kids together. And I was like, you want to get your kids together with me? After this? I was like, well, I have 3 kids. And he goes, and another one coming. And I was like, yep. I'm really sorry. And I got in the car. I called Eric and I was like, oh my God. It's like Moose was just in someone's house. I was like,
my God.
No idea.
How did he get out? Because
no clue. Don't know.
You've got gates.
I know. Potentially, maybe when Esme went for a walk with the other dog, maybe.
The other gate was left open.
Well, the other gate, there isn't a gate in the front yet. There's only gates in the back. So if he got out of the front door somehow, he could escape.
Oh, okay.
So, but we like leave those doors locked. So I'm not really sure. Somebody like accidentally, we're not used to this place yet.
You need to look at your Ring camera.
Yeah, I know. Oh my God. So I was so embarrassed. I was sweating. I got back in the car and my entire everything here was wet. And I was like,
You're
wow,
so
really?
Cute.
Was
You're
I
like,
that
my
embarrassed?
Tits are sweating. Oh my God. I freaking love you. How funny. But look, here's the amazing thing, you guys. You'll all be happy to hear. Where they've moved is so beautiful. They've got best friends there. It's such an amazing neighborhood. And everyone seems like, what a beautiful new beginning.
We are very, very, very grateful that we're able to be here. It's not that far from where we were. And although the kids are like kind of starting over, new friends, new school, new life, like everything, it just everything feels really good. And we sort of made this decision as a family to do this now because, you know, all of us were like dying because our travel time to get them to their school was like 2.5 hours because of the PCH was closed and there's just a lot of stuff happening in LA right now. And so we sort of made this like family decision to move before the baby comes and just try to like settle into a whole new world. And so far it's great, except for my freaking dogs.
Oh my God. And do they play okay together now? Have you like integrated them so they're fine to be together?
Yeah, they're fine. They're fine and happy and wonderful. It's just that my big guy Moose, he just has so much anxiety and he's just a nutball. Like when he's outside, he like gets stressed and all of a sudden decides he wants to come back inside, and then he's inside and he gets stressed and he wants to go outside, and he like does this all day long where you're just sort of like opening the door and closing it and you're just like, oh dear. And there's all these little rock pebbles here and he lays down in the rocks and then he gets them all stuck in his jowls. And so and then this morning, he was like trying to get them out. There was like 7 rocks falling from his mouth. And
my God.
So we were all just like, what? You are such a mess.
He has such a nice backyard space now. I feel like the space is amazing for him to run around. And oh my gosh, it was so nice. As a friend, being able to quickly go and see. I went on a very whirlwind trip to LA.
It was the best.
And it was the best.
And the best day.
I arrived on a Friday. I left on a Sunday. And then so I spent the Saturday at Sarah's new place. And I just got to like immerse myself in what her living experience is going to be like there. And it was so like healing. I was like, oh my God, she's going to have the best time. And this is amazing.
I was like
and
in tears so many times that day because I was like, how did the universe, like, how did this happen to where you were able to come like the weekend we were moving in? Like it was just, it all just perfectly aligned. And Eric and I were able to go to that amazing awards that where Teresa was honored. And then everyone was trying to conceal my pregnancy there, which was really funny because we hadn't
announced yet.
Yeah. Thank you to the beautiful fans online who cut out my belly.
I was going to say,
it was so sweet.
Robert.
And yeah, Eric Christian Olsen fans, like, thank you guys.
They cut the belly
so sweet.
out.
I know.
I DM'd her to be like, oh, then they're announcing tomorrow. Like, I saw that you cropped the photos, which was
so
really
sweet.
Because what happened was at this event, I had invited Sarah and Eric to this event, which was the awards thing that I was getting.
Yes.
Anyway, she was obviously very pregnant. And the Getty Images photographer was inside. Yeah. He was a roaming photographer.
Yeah.
So he kept coming back to our table and getting like me with various guests and all the different people sitting at my table. And so he kept wanting to have photos of Sarah and I. So you will see this one photo of Sarah like completely hidden behind me with her arms like around me, like popping her head. Like we were sort of really conjoined
cute,
twins.
Though, but it looks like our prom photo, you know, where I'm just like behind you like this.
Oh
but
my God,
I also
so cute.
Didn't want to miss out on any pictures with you because I was also like, oh, I love this, like being able to be here with you and like remember this. And so I was just trying to do everything I could to like hide my belly, but also be there with you.
But there were a couple of shots, like the profile shots, and I was like, well, that's a very pregnant belly. and then I saw it on Getty and I was like, oh no, Sarah's like total fans, like the fans are going to find this. They're going to know before you've announced. Yeah. I hope they don't post it. I was so ready to back. Can you pull that one down? But they actually cropped you at the tits.
I know. So nice. It was so nice. Anyway, it was so special. And then Tez like rented a car and drove up to where we were to spend the day with us. And we have another friend who lives up here. And so we all got to hang out together and we spent time on the beach. And it was like,
I'm sending her.
It was the most magical day.
Those salt and vinegar chips.
Oh yeah, what are those called?
Red Rock salt and vinegar chips.
Red Rock salt and vinegar chips. They're so good. By the way, shout out to is it Love Chocolates?
Loco Love.
Loco Love.
That's here in Byron. Yeah.
Okay. Loco Love Chocolate, shout out to you. I had your variety pack that Tez bought me. The one that has caramel and some sort of like shortbread or nuts or something in it. You guys, I took one bite of it and I was like, thank God these weren't all this because I would have eaten the whole thing. But I then had to go make myself a coffee, sit down at a table outside and like enjoy it like it was the best thing I'd ever tasted in my whole life. Like it was so good. It was so amazing. So thank you, Loco Love.
Loco Loves are so famous.
Delish.
Like, I just had my friends threw me a little birthday party here.
Yes, I saw the pictures. Oh my God.
We had the best time. But a lot of my gifts, I'd have like, they'd give me a gift. In fact, look at this amazing crystal that Elsa got me.
Oh my God.
This is the most insane thing ever. But I would get a gift with a Loco Love. I was like, oh my God. It's like the thing to give.
Wait, that crystal is for, what is that for? What's the energetic purpose of
it's a
having that
quartz
one?
crystal. I don't know,
It's
but
love?
I have to say, I've had it next to my bed.
Yeah.
And
You're having crazy
I
dreams.
have been sleeping so well. I was like, excuse me, where did you get this from, Elsa? Like, is this some very specially like blessed? And it's just like the magic of this crystal, the energy of this crystal.
God.
I've been sleeping like a baby, and I'd been having some sort of insomnia. Yeah, it's like I haven't been sleeping right through, and I always sleep right through. And I've had this crystal next to my bed, and I'm like, suddenly I'm like, ooh, wow, the energy of the crystal is helping me sleep.
Where you're just like getting into like a deeper sleep.
I think so. I think so. But it's been
amazing.
It's been a real whirlwind, and I guess because of everything that's happened this year. There's been so much, Sarah. There's been so much. Like, what happened to you? What happened to you? The fire, the being pregnant. And there has just been so much to talk about. I also realized, like, I moved my entire family to a new state, and we had one discussion of, like, the road trip. But I wanted to say now that, like, the decision that we made to move here was always going to be one which was like, oh, let's see how we go. Let's look at it more as a trial rather than we're definitely doing it. Anyway, we are officially here forever. I mean,
you love it.
Oh my God, Sarah, like it is. So I had the first week with Forrest at the new school, and Forrest and Ezzy, I feel like are quite similar in many ways. Like there's such a beautiful sensitivity about them and the way they see the world. They're just like, they've been here many lifetimes, right?
Totally.
And so for Forrest, I knew that it would be more of a transition for him than the others, because the way he likes to make friendships is he will make a friendship the way you and I are friends, like the sort of intertwined, like such a deep bond, like so deeply rooted, that for him to have to start again and find a person to deeply root with, I knew we would just have to be patient. I knew it would take time. And that first week I was saying to Mark, like, I don't know, like I just don't know. I'm so worried. He was really upset. He hadn't really connected with anyone. Whereas the others, like Poet went into her school. This is so funny, Sarah. She's so young. She's only 5 and she's not turning 6 until April. So she's really meant to be in the first year, which they call here kindergarten.
Yeah.
And on day one, we went to this school, and the school's so cool and hippie and like, you know, really earthy and really an amazing school. But I went on day one thinking she was going into kindergarten. On day one, I turned up like first day of school, like da-da-da. And then I get to the school and they're like, cool, so she's over here. Her year ones are over here. And I was like, oh, shit. Oh, sorry. She's 5. She's in kindergarten. They were like, oh, no, there's no room in kindergarten this year. And I was like, she hasn't done school yet, really.
Did they not tell you that? That's weird.
No, I don't know where there was a lost in translation. Here I was the whole time thinking she was going into class with all the other 5-year-olds.
Yeah.
And I get there and I meet all these other kids in the morning and I'm like, I walk her over to her teacher and I'm like, oh, perfect. Like she's like perfectly the same age as all these other kids. And then they were like, oh no, I'm so sorry. She's in year 1. And then I went to the year 1 teacher and I was like, I'm so confused. Is my daughter Poet in your class? And then she was like, how old is she? And I said, oh, she's 5. And she was like, oh no, she's in kindergarten. So I went back to the kindergarten teacher. I was like,
oh,
the year 1 teacher said she's in this class. And she was like, no, she's definitely in year 1. I was like, oh my God, what's happening? So then I was like, hang on. I go back to the year 1 teacher and then she looks at her list and she was like, oh my God, she's in my class. Oh, it's okay. Oh, she'll be fine. And I was like, no, she can't read. She's not like, she hasn't had a year of school yet.
Yeah. All of my children go into kindergarten, like not even like barely recognizing a letter.
Their letters. Like I was like, she doesn't know all her letters yet. Don't think she's ready for year one. Like all these kids had little readers and stuff. And I was like, oh no, this is going to be a disaster.
Yeah.
But then there's such a relaxed school that they were like, no, she'll be fine. She's going to make heaps of friends. We'll tell you if she's not fine. And I was like, okay. So I get like that week goes by and Forrest is more like, yo, like who am I going to be friends with? Like this group of year 3 boys are so connected and tight. Like how do I get in there? And then Paula, on the other hand, is like little miss, made friends with every single person in the class, like like having the best time, hasn't even really noticed that she's a whole year younger. But because they have this teacher's aide in the classroom, the teacher's aide has been put on Poet to teach her her letters, make sure she knows all her letters. One-on-one with this.
Best.
So
Best ever.
in the class, she has someone right next to her because she's a year younger than everyone. And suddenly this girl is reading. She's like coming home with readers, fully reading. And I'm like, excuse me, what? Like just from having this one-on-one teacher's aide in the classroom.
Oh my God.
It's been so good. So she's loving it, loving school. On the Friday, it was Monday through Friday, and I had promised Forrest, I was like, look, if you don't feel like you connect with anyone by the end of the following week, I will pull you out. I will pull you out of the school and I will homeschool and we're going to figure something else out. Meanwhile, Bodhi's at his school, same as Poet, made a million friends, is like, this is the best school I've ever been to. It's my favorite school. And Forrest kept saying to me, the school is so fun. They have art club at lunchtimes and they have Lego club at lunchtimes. And it's just, and they go to the beach. They have this farm that they go to every Friday. It's called On Land Learning. And it's this farm with yurts and a pirate ship and a train. And it's like, it's so amazing. And it's a really progressive school. So Forrest kept saying the school was great, but I was just starting to worry about the friendship side of things. And then this woman who you can see her stuff in the background if you're watching on YouTube, her company is called Dazed but Amazed. And Nikki and you and me, I mean, we're all a fan of her linen.
She's amazing. Her stuff is unbelievable.
It's unbelievable. So I'm dropping the kids off at this amazing farm and I hear Teresa. And I turn around and it's Jess, the owner of Dazed but Amazed.
Oh.
And she was like, oh my gosh, you're here at the school. I think our kids might be in the same class. And I was like, who? Which one? And she was like, year 3. My son Dash is in year 3. And I was like, oh my God, we need to do play dates. I got so excited. And then she was like, Dash, you like take Forrest around the farm. Anyway, so began the deepest best friendship ever.
Out.
They are so intertwined. They are so similar.
That's so nice.
They do stunts at lunchtime. And anyway, Forrest has never had a better best friend in his entire life. He's feeling so happy. And that was the last little piece, I think, of the puzzle here in Byron for me. It was just, I knew Bodhi was like, this is the best school I've ever been to. I'm so happy. Poet felt the same way. And I just was like, I just wanted that for Forrest. And then he found, and he has made the bestest friend of all the kids. That is just a for lifer friend.
Oh, that's so nice.
And I love Jess so much that I'm like, this is the most perfect thing ever. Oh. Now we all get to hang out. And then suddenly this community has cracked open and there are other people that I know through a friend of a friend, and then Bodhi's made a very good friend who lives 4 houses down, who's always at our house. They ride bikes to each other's home, and suddenly it's just the community feels so amazing. And Mark is so happy here.
He is?
He's so happy here.
Oh, that's amazing.
He's found his little wellness gym space in Byron that he goes to, and he's made some friends, and a couple of them happen to be in the film industry.
Oh, great.
And it's just, there's a lot of creatives up here. And then, of course, I'm working an hour and a half away in the Gold Coast. I'm shooting bear country at the moment. So I get to drive to work an hour and a half away, drive back home and be with my kids and take them to school. And then Mark's developing a TV show up here. And, you know, I think they were all the reasons why we decided to move up here in the first place, and it would be a trial. But now seeing the kids in surf school every week, and they're doing tennis, and they're doing, Bodhi's really into his boxing, and they do AFL and dance and horse riding, and so many friends and play dates. And I've got all my favorite restaurants that I go to get my smashed avocados.
I was going to say, just to get your avocado
just
toast.
to get my avocado toast. I just feel so happy here. And I think it all culminated in this weekend. We had this birthday dinner. And I kind of invited all these random people that I've made friends with over the last 2 months. And it formed this amazing group of such interesting people and really cool artists and amazing mums and business owners. And then what I did is I had everyone bring their kids, and I was like, everyone bring the kids to the party. So then there was just this little gang of kids hanging out. There's probably 20 kids, and we all played Mafia together, and it was so much fun. And after that night, I was just like, oh, that was it. Like, that was the final little piece of the puzzle here, is just like, who's the friendship group? Who are the people because that's what you always need to find when you move into a new community, is who are those ride or dies. And I feel like I found them, and I really miss my friends in Adelaide. Like, I have best friends that I've been friends with for so many years, forever. Yeah. And I really miss them. And those are the sorts of people who, 3 of them are coming up to visit in the next few months anyway.
I was going to say, they're going to come and visit you no matter what.
No matter what.
Wherever you live, they're always visit you no matter where you go.
Yeah. And I think that was the biggest thing, was like, how will I ever replace? And it hasn't replaced, and it can't replace. And that's like these long-term friendships. But there are also the friendships like you and I, where no matter the distance, you get on that phone, you send a voice text, you have a chat over Riverside, and it's just like no time has passed. And even though you don't physically get to be in the presence of these people and give them a hug physically all the time, it's like the friendship, the support, the love, it's still there. So all this to say, like, this move has been incredible for our family. And I'm just so grateful that we jumped at this, because it was something we've talked about for a really long time. But I just want to say, if anyone has ever been like, oh, one day I just want to move there, or oh, maybe we could make the moves, like, the fact that we actually did it, we put our house on the market, we sold my childhood home, we did it, and we went into it with the intention of like, this could be temporary. We jumped at it. And I feel like it was so ballsy of us to do it. And it just kind of got us at the right time in life, where we were just like, we're just going to give this a go. And I just want to encourage people, if you have those feelings, or if you have that pull and it's a strong pull, try it out. Even if it's like renting your house out for a few months and just trying living somewhere else for a bit. Like, even just that, I think saying yes to these feelings when they come up, rather than 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 years later, the kids are all grown up and you're like, oh, we never did that thing. We never made that move.
But it's so interesting to me. It like makes me want to go back and listen to our episode with our last episode with Angie, which someone said something on DM about how we needed to like go back and listen, because
I read that
she said something. Yeah. But I'm really curious because you and I both kind of made these moves at the same time. Like, you made the move, and then this stuff happened with me, and then like I made the move, but like you were in the process of moving. We're both like huge, massive life changes all at the same time. And we talk about how this last year really was us going through the ebbs and flows at the same time. Like everything was happening.
Everything.
So it's like we would have like these peaks and then the valley and then the peak and then the valley and like
totally in line. Like it was parallel experiences.
And now you've just uprooted your entire life and you're starting over, new school, new home, new life, new friends, we're doing the same thing.
And so
new school, new home, new friends, new life, new everything. Which is crazy.
It's crazy. And you don't often have massive life changes, I feel like, in the middle of life when your kids are this age. And
no.
It happens a lot of the time when the kids move out of home or like right before you have kids, you know.
That's right. Or before they start kindergarten.
Totally.
Like before, you know, it's like.
Not like smack bang in the middle of life. By the time this comes out, I will have wrapped, or I would be a day away from wrapping my movie.
Yes.
And I wanted to tell you this funny story. Sarah knows this story. So it was recently my birthday.
I was wondering if this was going to come up. Oh my God.
I had written down things to talk about today because I've been so distracted about the cyclone that I was like, all right, I need to stay focused. Like, what can I say? And I was
like, already my favorite episode.
I know. Okay, so I've been shooting this movie for the last 6 weeks, something like that. And I'm working with Russell Crowe, who I have known sort of over the year. Well, obviously I've known of him, but we had the same agent for a really long time. And then my agent turned into a manager. So he's now Russell's manager. And I already had a manager. So I stuck with my manager and I have a new agent. Anyway, I've always been in touch with George, our mutual contact. And George was the one that was like, Russell really wants you to do this movie. And Russell texted me. This is how I got the job. Russell texted me and was like, I have this thing. I just saw you in The Fall Guy. It was really fun. Like, I have this job. I think you'd be great in it, blah, blah, blah. And it shoots in the Gold Coast.
Ah, perfect.
Perfect. And as you guys know, there was that other job that was lingering around that would have taken me to Pittsburgh. And I wouldn't have had all these experiences I've just had in Byron Bay, settling my kids in and having this experience. So I'm on this movie. It's been really fun. And Russell's awesome. He's obviously such a legend, but my favorite thing about him is that he's just like so supportive of people. There are people on this set that he met years ago that he's like brought with him. He brings people with him. And there are actors who are in supporting roles who will keep getting cast in movies that Russell is in because he just is that person that brings people with him. So if he loves you and respects you, like he will have your back for life. And there's this like amazing dialect coach on this who only had done one small little dialect thing. And then Russell's like, right, you're coming with me. And now he's blown up and he's become this huge dialect coach and is traveling all over the world. And he was like, I owe everything to Russell. Anyway, so I kind of got the sense from him and we've really hit it off. Like we are always laughing. We play love interest in this. And we were shooting a scene in the car the other day and
I'm like giggling so much. The baby's like kicking me right here. And I'm just like, okay, go ahead.
Hi, baby. And I'm not a big birthday person. Like I'm just not. The fact that Chrissy and Mark threw me a birthday party was so sweet, but also embarrassing. And, you know, I'm not my kid's birthday, Bodhi. Every year his birthday is around my birthday. So I always put all my energy into his party. And anyway, it happened to be my birthday. I was shooting. Couple of people knew, like I think a second AD knew and maybe the first AD. And I hadn't said anything. I was there for 6 hours at this point. I get into the car with Russell and I'd just been thinking about how, oh my God, I am 40 in a year. Like I'm 40. Like what a huge time in my life, like turning 40.
Last year of your 30s.
Last year of my 30s. And I slide in the car and we're just sort of having small talk. And I happen to say like, 365 days. Like I will be 40. And then he was like, huh? And I was like, yeah, I'm 39 today. And in 1 full year, I will be 40. And then he like looks at me and he was like, you mean to tell me that it is your birthday today?
Oh, dear.
And I was like, oh, yeah, it is, but I do not celebrate birthdays. And he was like, and you didn't tell anyone to tell me that it's your birthday? And I was like, no, oh my God, please. No, I mean, of course not. It's very embarrassing. Like it's just a birthday. Like I really do not celebrate. Anyway, should we run the lines? And he was like, wait. You could have told a second AD, or you could have told my assistant, or you could have told someone, and they would have told me that it's your birthday. And I was like, oh, please, Russell, it's not. Honestly, it's really not a big deal. Cut to, we're wrapping. He doesn't say anything else. And then apart from every now and then, like, I would have had a gift for you. Like, I would have had something here. And I was like, oh, gosh, like, that is not necessary at all. Like, let's just finish the scene. Anyway, so we're finishing the scene and we go to lunch. And then I start hearing these little whispers that Russell's organizing something and I'm dying. I'm like, please tell him not. I do not know what is happening. Please tell him. I'm very embarrassed. No one's sing to me. Oh God, I wish I could just fly under the radar, right? So I find out that he has sent his driver on the set to go and get me a present. But then when the present comes back to him, he's like, that's not what I wanted. Like, that's for an old lady. Like, I need something else. So it's ending lunch and we're about to start ramping up again to start shooting. He just gets up and leaves. He gets in the car with the driver. He leaves. He drives straight to Prada. Prada is closed. He calls Prada and is like, yeah, it's Russell Crowe, I'm coming in. He literally leaves, goes to Prada and gets me a handbag and drives back. And I'm not knowing what's happening with lunch. I'm like, have we like, what is going on? Like, aren't we meant to be back on set? And they're like, yeah, the second AD is like red in the face, like kind of half panicking. He was like, yeah, we can't find Russell. He's sort of just left to go get you a birthday present. And I was like, no, he did not. Oh my God, no, I'm so sorry. I'm so embarrassed. Oh my God, what do you mean? And he was like, yeah, we're just waiting. I'm sure he'll be back soon. And I was like, this is all my fault. This is my fault. I can't believe this. This is so embarrassing. So then I get to set and his stand-in, Sean, is there. And I was like, I'll just do the scene with Sean. Like, oh God, no one wait. Please, let's just start shooting. Like, I'm happy to do the scene with Sean because it was just a very wide shot that we still had to get. And then in rolls Russell in his car with these massive Prada bags. And I'm like, literally want like the floor to open up and like disappear down. And I walk over to him and I was like, and he was like, here, happy birthday.
Oh
and
my God.
I open these gifts.
Were you sweating so much?
I was red in the face. I couldn't even speak properly. I was like, I don't usually get things like this. I can't believe you spent this money on this. And this is so embarrassing. And it was like, you deserve it. Happy birthday. I open up this gift and
Can't wait to do a movie with Russell.
I know, literally. Sarah's had this experience with Tom Cruise. And so when I was like, oh my God, I feel so bad. Like he got me this. And she was like,
I was like, don't feel bad.
She was like, don't feel bad. Do you remember what Tom got me on my birthday when I was shooting with him? I was like, oh thank God. So this is just like a movie star thing then. This is just what happens because I'm so embarrassed. And then I'm questioning like, what am I going to get him for his wrap gift? Like he got me this insane Prada handbag and it's the most beautiful thing. Oh my God.
Same thing.
It is the most beautiful thing I've ever seen. It's
gorgeous.
This powder blue Prada handbag. I don't even want to use it. It's so beautiful.
We all need a photo.
And then I will show you. And then it's this like silk kimono powder blue. And he was like, I just thought like these are your colors. And I was like, Russell, I just hugged him and was like, I'm so grateful and really embarrassed. And I also can't believe I told you it was my birthday. And then you left. And I was like mortified, but also like totally stoked. Like, this is the most amazing gift ever.
Yeah.
Most amazing thing ever. And then I, of course, like immediately messaged Sarah and I was like, oh my God, you do not understand what just happened today. And then she proceeded to tell me her Tom Cruise story for her birthday.
Yeah.
And it made me feel so much better. Oh God.
It was so great. Well, it was for wrap. It was our wrap like presents. And I think I got Tom like handmade coffee mugs because he loves coffee. And he got me like, him and our director got me like the most amazing gifts. And I was just like, I'm just like you. I have such a hard time accepting things that are really like expensive and extravagant because I grew up with like nothing like that. And so it feels like I feel so grateful, but I also don't know how to accept that kind
guilty.
of
I feel guilty
I don't know.
having this.
I just was just like, I couldn't stop smiling and I was just like, oh my God, thank you so much. This is so amazing, you know? And it was like the most thoughtful and for all the right reasons and most beautiful like gifts. And not like extravagant for no reason. It was like specific and so sweet. And they were just like the kindest about it. I just was like, wow, I don't know. Just like you, I was like, and I got him handmade coffee mugs. Like,
I've been trying to plot, like, what do I get him?
And I did it.
Well, I was thinking of getting his girlfriend, Brittany, something. I was like, well, maybe I get her something amazing, like write him a really nice letter and get her something amazing that maybe he can use as well. But I've been really overthinking it now.
You should get her something from Bayou with Love from Nikki's company.
That is a great idea.
That's what you should do. She has like the coolest jewelry, and I bet
her jewelry is so sick, so next level.
Sick.
Yeah, I have to like spy on Brittany next time I see her and see like what she's wearing.
check out what her vibe is. Like,
I know. Also, I have to say, I want to do a little Bayo shout out for a second.
Oh,
I was in LA, as you guys know, for just a couple of days for this award ceremony. And I happened to go past Frankie's house and she was like, oh, I have a couple of things for you that came in the mail. And I was like, oh, and I opened it and a couple of things were from the Great. And then it was a Bayo care package came for me to Frankie's house. Must have been from ages ago when I was living there. And it's your insane face oil.
Oh, the oil. Oh, that makes me so happy.
It's insane, Sarah.
I just ordered one for you to send to you because I'm sending you something for your birthday. And I was like, oh, I'm going to send you some Bayo stuff too. I'm so glad you have it. Okay.
It smells
incredible.
Is that Lang Lang?
Yeah.
Oh my God. I've switched it out for my usual oil, but I've been using that like religiously. And then the Bayo came and I was like, oh my God. I put it on my face. I was like, I don't even have to wear like a scent. I don't even have to wear my oils or my perfume and I just spent all this money on a
so
Labo.
good.
And I was like, I smell so good. And I've got it on right now. This is the only thing I've got on my skin right now. I've been using it religiously. It looks so good.
Thank you.
Sarah, I feel so proud of you. It's so beautiful. And the packaging is gorgeous.
Thank you.
It's so beautiful.
You guys, go check that out at bayo.com. Actually, I'm not joking. Every time that somebody, and we have a discount, Mother Days. If you put in Mother Days, it's a discount. But every time that someone hugs me and I'm wearing the oil, they're like, you smell so good.
Oh God,
like, what is that perfume? And I'm like, it's not a perfume. A stranger, I walked by this woman at a coffee shop and she was like, I have to ask you because I've been sitting behind you. You smell so amazing. What is it? And I was like, honestly, the only thing I have on is a face oil. I don't have anything else on. And it's a very subtle smell. It's just that I don't know. It's just like,
so
I love
nice.
Lang Lang.
It makes me feel like I've taken care of myself. It's like luxurious and so beautiful. And I'm obsessed with it. And it's the one thing that I won't let Mark steal off of me because he's stolen all my Osea. That was another thing I got at Frankie's house. It's all on his side. He's laid it all out perfectly in his cabinet. And I was like, excuse me.
Unacceptable.
Yeah, he will not touch my Bayo.
We're obsessed with Osea. I'm like, Eric is the same. He's like the body oil, like nothing, the body wash. Like it has to be in the shower, on the sink. Like if he's starting to get halfway down, it's like the same for him with like filling up a car with gas. Like if it's at the halfway point and he has to refill it, he's got to reorder. Like he's like, okay, I got to do an Osea order.
Oh my God, maybe that's what I need. That maybe Bayo is what I need to give Russell for his wrap gift.
There you go. Do it for you. So cute. Oh, yay. Well, that was very fun. And I can't wait to just touch that bag. I just want to touch it. It's like,
oh my gosh. I brought it to my birthday cute. And I was like,
you did.
I have it at my birthday. And then I just like hung it on a chair. And then I was like, I'm not actually really using it. I don't even know why I brought it, just to like put some makeup in there. And then people walked past. I'm like, oh my God, there's pack. It's like, I know, I'm so embarrassed. But yes, it's mine.
I mean, a girl's got to have one great bag, you know?
I know, but it's like, because you and I, because of where we came from, I think too, it's like that sort of stuff feels uncomfortable. Like I wear that stuff all the time for events and then you always give it back.
You give it back.
I think some people think that when you wear Prada and Chanel and this and that you just wear it and then it goes into your wardrobe. That's not how it works, you guys.
That's not how that works. No. It's like, it's great because I've multiple times have gotten like a package from some huge company like that and I'll get so excited, but I always telling myself like, don't get too excited. And then you open it and it's like a candle. And
it's usually a candle. Great. I've had a one Chanel bag maybe 6 years ago I got. And I got one little Chanel, like really small little clutch. Oh. And like they're the fancy bags I have. And the Chanel bag I got 6 years ago is the most trashed thing you've ever seen in your entire life. Like my friend Susie was like, do you want to even keep this? And I was like, yeah. Oh my God, it's Chanel. She was like, oh, she was going through my wardrobe. She's like, it's pretty red.
It's not okay.
I was like, I know, I still like it.
It used to be red and now it's not.
So, I know, thrashed. Anyway, you guys have been listening to the Mother Days podcast. You can find us on Apple, Spotify, or wherever you get your podcasts.
Be safe out there.
Yes, peeps. Be safe out there.
It is 2025. Be safe out there. We love you. Bye,
Dazeys.
Bye.